This is margarine. Margarine is a common ingredient used in baking and cooking. We can find this a lot in the market and has a lot of different varieties. But have you ever wondered what it actually is? Margarine is actually a substitute for butter, where it was originally made in 1800s as a cheap alternative for butter. So, what margarine is made up from? So, what is margarine originally made up from? Let's find out.
Hi, okay, a little history. Actually, margarine was first invented in France by Hippolyte Magus Maurice because at that time Napoleon wanted a cheaper alternative to butter for his army in the Franco-Prussian War. At first, margarine actually consisted of beef tallow churned with milk. But then the production of margarine became very limited because of limited availability of beef tallow until Wilhelm Norman in Germany, he patented a process of hardening oil by hydrogenation. And only then margarine is made from the hardened vegetable oils. So, because margarine is now made of vegetable oils, it is free cholesterol, lower in saturated fat, and richer in fat-soluble vitamin. So, I can conclude that margarine is actually a cheaper and healthier alternative to butter.
Okay guys, do you know the process of margarine? You want to know it, right? So let's see. The first process is the preparing the ingredient, which is salt, emulsifier, coloring agent, flavoring agent, and antioxidants. All of it will be weighed accordingly. Next, the oil or fats will be melting in this process at 60 to 70 degrees Celsius to get a homogeneous melt, continuous stirring in mixing vessel. This process is adding a salt and water-soluble process. The water-soluble was dissolved in small volume of water. Emulsifier, which mono or diglyceride that depend to margarine and lecithin, should be the first dissolved in small volume of the oil and fat blend, which is the ratio is 1 to 4 at 65 degrees Celsius until 72 degrees Celsius. Then the mixture will incorporate into the main bulk of oil and fat blend in tank, and it will continue stirring at temperature 50 until 60 degrees Celsius. Next process, other fat-soluble ingredient, which is antioxidants, color, flavor will disperse in small volume of fat blend. It will be mixed, and the temperature that used is between 50 until 60 degrees Celsius. The stirring will continue to get a homogeneous mixture.
The prepared aqueous phase will then be mixed into the fat phase by continuous stirring at a controlled temperature between 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, forming water in oil emulsion in the mixing tank. Temperature between 10 to 22 degrees Celsius and scraper speed between 300 to 1000 rpm is maintained in the pre-crystallized phase. Crystallization occurs rapidly due to the drastic temperature drop. Rotating pins help to crystallize the pre-crystallized emulsion and homogenize the fat and speeds up the formation of margarine. The margarine is collected from the pin worker and packed depending on the consistency, type, and consumer preference. Tempering between 5 to 7 degrees Celsius for 24 hours stabilizes the texture of margarine. High temperature enhances the plasticity. The right packaging material and transportation temperature are crucial factors to determine the final quality of margarine produced. Now you know how margarine is produced.
So, I'm Shakira. I'm going to talk about the physical-chemical properties of margarine. Okay, physical-chemical properties of margarine, we have it, which is pH, moisture content, salt content, water activity, melting point, peroxide index, fatty acid composition, and solid fat content. So I will be talking about pH, moisture content, water activity, and salt content. Meanwhile, my friend Adiba, she will proceed with the last four. Okay, so pH. pH of margarine should be in the range of 4 to 5.5, which is acidic. This acidic condition will exhibit the growth of microbes. And then we go to the moisture content. Moisture content of margarine should be maximum of 16%. Okay, determination of moisture content is very important, as moisture content is the amount of water inside the margarine. So moisture content affects the physical and chemical aspect of the margarine. So it is related to the freshness and stability of margarine. And then we have water activity. Water activity of margarine should be 0.85. Okay, water activity should be less than 1. So the determination of water activity is also important to prevent the spoilage and maintain food quality. And then lastly, we have salt content. The salt content inside margarine should be 0.1 to 0.4% of total weight of margarine. So the addition of salt into margarine is to enhance flavor, and also it applies an antimicrobial effect. So I will pass to my friends Adiba.
Hi everyone, so I'm gonna continue with the fifth physical chemical properties of margarine, which is melting point. So melting point is the temperature at which it changes state from solid to liquid. So for margarine, the melting point range between 33 to 34 degrees Celsius. Next is the peroxide value. Peroxide value is measure the state of oxidation in fats and oil, and also measure the oxidative acidity. For table margarine, the peroxide value must not exceed 2 milliequivalent per kilogram. Why it must not exceed that range? Because a lower peroxide value indicates a good quality of oil and also a good preservation status, while for the high peroxide value indicate high level of oxidation. Next is fatty acid composition of the margarine. So for the saturated fatty acid, the range is between 38.9 to 53.1%, and while the trans fatty acid is between 2.45 to 21.1%. And last but not least is solid fat content. So what is solid fat content? Solid fat content, or SFC, is the percentage of solid in fat at specific temperature. So for margarine, the SFC range is between 20% to 25% at temperature 20 degrees Celsius. So basically, SFC is an important characteristic because it can influence the appearance of the product, the flavor, the shelf life, and also the quality, the stability of fats. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Iliana and I'll be talking about the application of margarine. Margarine is widely used as an ingredient or a spread that resembles butter as it contains lower in saturated fat than butter, and it also contains no cholesterol as it is made from vegetable oils. Margarine is an option, is usually an option, especially for those who are concerned about their health. Although margarine is not really preferable compared to butter, margarine is still used in the food making process, including baking. For example, the baking food like cooked cake, cookies, and bread. Margarine is also used as an oil to make the baking tray to be greasy so that it is easier to take out the cookies off the baking tray after the baking. Margarine is also applied during pan-fried or saute process as it gives better taste and makes food more flavorful and tastier compared to the oil that we usually use in the pan-fried and saute process. I can conclude that margarine is mainly used to provide a better taste in food. Now I will pass the margarine to Hazira. Thank you.
Okay, the last part of this video. A video would have been complete if there's no question, right? So there will be 5 questions that I'll be asking. Don't worry, just simple one. Okay, the first question is, can you briefly explain what is margarine? Second question, margarine is originated from? Okay, the third question, list at least 2 properties of margarine. Okay, the fourth one is the simplest question ever. I know you guys can answer this. Give one application of margarine. Simple, right? I know. Okay, the last one may be a bit tough. Okay, like this. Butter contain about 50 to 63% of saturated fat. What percentage of saturated fat is contained in margarine? Google. There's answer. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys able to gain new information from our video about margarine. That's all from us. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you next time. Just kidding, it's not over yet, guys. My teammate want to say goodbye. So guys,
Thanks
bye.
so much, everyone.